passing around the alphabet, around the alphabet. We're passing letters from A, B, C, all the way to X, Y, Z. We're passing letters from A, B, C, all the way to X, Y, Z.
When families come in, we want to make sure they know they're in the right building, in the right place, so we've got a sign for them. Welcome to Gearing Up for Kindergarten. We've also got a colorful sign so that it'll be up each week, and they will know, okay, for kids, we want to build a sense of familiarity and classroom, procedure, and routine. And so having this sign up is their indicator that, okay, I'm here, I've arrived, and I'm ready for school. Now, where do we go next? And so we lead them. We had someone greeting them the first night, and we said, okay, we have a blue room, we have a green room, and we have a yellow room. Mom, help your child find their name. Mom or dad, find their name. And let's just say that you are Avery. We found Avery's name, and Avery, you're in the blue room. So then we told them, you're going to go down the hall, and after you go down the hall, you're going to find a circle. There's a blue circle, a green circle, or a yellow circle. If your name is on the blue room page, that's your classroom. If your name's on the green room page, the green circle is your classroom. And of course, if your name's on the yellow page, the yellow circle is your classroom. Each week, we hope that kids can come in and not need this after 2 or 3 weeks, but be able to say, oh yes, I'm the yellow room. So our families walk down the hallway, and here is the green room. So if a child's name was on the green room, we've got a green dot here and a green dot here saying, this is my classroom, this is where I will be each week. And we've got the dots up every week so kids can identify their classroom and not depend on mom and dad to do that for them. Again, procedure and routine. I'm in the green room.
She signed the name.
So when the families come in, the first thing, in the first night, the teacher's greeting them and saying, okay, children, find your name, and then write your name in the line below your name. We want the kids to get used to signing in just like they will when they go to kindergarten. Also, in children signing in their name, one of the neat things about this is we see a progression of their development in writing the letters, which is fine motor skills, and also just in better understanding what does my name look like when it's printed out. So they've got a model from the teacher, and then they write their own name. We also have a sign-in sheet for parents. That way, that helps us keep track of who's been there and who's not, and the lessons that we have to give to families. Every week, families take home a lesson, and so we want to be sure we don't miss anybody if they've missed a week of school. Another thing families do when they come in each evening is they get a chance to look at the schedule. Just like all of us, they want to know what's going on here in our classroom tonight. So we know children and parents are together, there's some learning centers going on, there's projects, there's cleanup time, and then there's story time. After that, parents go to their own classes, and children have snack and do some of the center time with their teacher, and then the end of the day. By about the 3rd or 4th week, kids already know what to do, but it's still nice to see, here's what's going to happen in our classroom this week. And then when kids come in, they find their name tags, and the teachers tend to have the name tags clustered in families. And so here's the student, here's the mom, and there's the dad. We cluster them together in families so the kids also get to recognize their parent's name. Very simple laminated name tag. We use a pin on the back. Very simple. Some teachers use the peel and stick name tags. You can do that too. But these are nice because kids, they're here every week and kids can identify their name. And as I said, they'll get to identify their parents' names as well.
Perfect.
And then lastly, kids bring a backpack book every week. And so in this classroom, they drop their books off at the table, and there's a bucket of new books at another table that they pick up on the way home. So every week, kids are checking out books. We bought 100 books from Scholastic for like $99. What a bargain. And for the most part, our books come back, but if they don't, we figure they're at somebody's house and there's learning going on, and we're happy about that too. It's one of the favorite features of kids, like they're going to the library and they get to take a book home, and they get to read with mom and dad. We keep an attendance chart for the kids so that when they come in every week, we have 16 weeks, and we just have a sticker that they pull off of a little clipboard, and then they put it next to their name. We do that for 2 reasons. One, we're hoping it encourages families to come. If we have perfect attendance here in Grand Forks, we have a backpack that kids can get at the end of the program full of school supplies. But another reason we do that too is they find their name, they recognize their name, they're also sequencing something. Oh, we've been to Gearing Up for Kindergarten 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So we just do that as another reinforcement of name, sequencing, and then, as we said, we hope everybody does keep coming because the more you come, the more you learn. Right when the kids walk in the classroom, we put their names on the coat closet and they find their name. They're again finding their name, identifying that Ava begins with A, find their name, open up, and then they put their coat on a hook. They'd be doing the same thing when they go to kindergarten. We want to prepare them for a lot of things that will look very similar when they go to kindergarten, things that they can expect when they go to kindergarten. Every classroom when the families walk in each evening has at least 5 centers. And the idea behind the centers is that parents and children can do some interactive learning activities together. The teachers give suggested things that can be done at the centers. Last week we had some popsicle sticks and they were shaped with little boy shapes and little girl shapes. And all we put on it was color yourself. But it's a creative activity they can do together, finding gross motor skills, identifying, oh, this is a girl, she's got a little skirt on, this is a little boy, and then one of them had a crown, a little curly hair. Lots of just fun things. Another center we did was a balloon activity tonight. That's science in motion, but again, parent-child cooperative project together. A lot of what we do is stuff that can be done at home, and we want families to see that learning really takes place every day in every way. And if we have those activities here on the table, it spurs your thought that, well, I have macaroni, I could make a macaroni necklace, and I could even sequence it, red, yellow, blue, green, and make a pattern. Or I could do 2, 1, 2. So a lot of the activities that we have, we hope are springboards for learning at home, and a connection time for parents and children to relate together in the learning environment. Every week our centers look different. The favorite is the sand table, which we thank Head Start for having that available for us. Our centers are different every single week. The Gearing Up curriculum has a lot of centers already embedded in it, but we also tell teachers, you are creative, you have your own classrooms, use those good learning activities that you already have. If you want something new and fresh, go to the Gearing Up curriculum. We've got lots of great ones in there. But at the same time, if this is your classroom, use some of the things you're using with your own students. Dress up is one of our favorite stations. Well, play is one of the ways kids learn. And so when they're playing and they're mimicking, I'm making supper. First I do this, then I do that. It's a great way to just pattern and mimic real life. And then when mom and dad get in on it, the kids really have fun. Okay, mommy, you're the little girl. It's amazing how many times you see role rehearsal in that. Cleanup is a transition time for us. Like moms and dads want their kids to clean up at home before they go to bed, or we clean up and do the dishes. Cleanup is a transition time for us. We're putting away our center activities and we're getting ready for the carpet. Most of the teachers do that through song, but also who wants to clean up the whole classroom at the end when the kids have so much fun doing it and helping us out? We have story time and we try and make it at least a 10-minute block, sometimes up to 15. Literacy is very important, and we know that when children are set up to like and enjoy listening to story, it's going to make it a lot easier for them when they go to kindergarten, because research shows us that from kindergarten to 3rd grade, children learn how to read. But from 4th grade on, they're reading to learn. That's a significant dynamic shift. And so what we want to do is really work on pre-reading right here at Gearing Up for Kindergarten. So developing a love of literacy, flipping the pages, turning a book right side up, reading from left to right. Most of our kids know that, but a lot of families don't know just how important it is, the work that they're doing at home reading with their kids. So we read to song, we take turns reading, we read together, we have a pointer reader sometimes. We use lots of ways to make reading come alive for kids and reinforce to parents the value of reading. We also underscore READ, which is Read Every Day, which is just a reading campaign we use here in Grand Forks that we share with the Gearing Up community. In your community, if there's a reading program, we encourage you to highlight that, because really, truly, children who are read to have stronger language skills. They enjoy reading, which helps them in the classroom. And then the learning that takes place from reading is applied. They're decoding words, they're comprehending, and then they're making connections. Oh, they went camping in this book. Well, we went camping last summer. So we see reading as one of the cornerstones of the work of Gearing Up for Kindergarten. Right after the story time, about 6:45, the parents go into another classroom and they're with a parent educator. And this is one of the strong features, because this Gearing Up program is school readiness and parent involvement. And in this component, a teacher who works with parents comes in and she really talks about, okay, what does it look like to be ready for school from a parent standpoint? What can you do at your house to prepare the kids for school? And so some of the things they talk about are the emphasis of reading, 20 minutes a day, and what reading looks like. Especially, we talked a little bit about it, but talking about a story about, oh yeah, that's when our family went camping. Okay, so reading is a strong emphasis. We encourage it every week, but then we also talk about what's proper rest for a 4-year-old. What does that look like? How much rest does a 4-year-old need? What are some things you can do to create routine, and also too to help your kids be better sleepers. We have a nutrition component, and oftentimes we have an extension person come in and work with that. But healthy eating, getting your kids to try different foods, but then at the same time, if you're cooking, they can help you measure, they can help you pour. Those are things that build the fine and gross motor skills, but also build familiarity with different foods. So we have a nutrition component. We have a personality component. It's one of the favorites of parents because they say, oh, that's why I rub shoulders really well with my son, but I don't do so well with my daughter because we're so alike and we rub each other the wrong way. Well, embedded in that is a little bit about understanding our own personalities and those of our kids, but also then ways to communicate with people who don't think and act like we do. It's one of our favorite lessons.
How many fingers is that?
We also have a math session that we do talking about sequencing, the importance of understanding, okay, this is 5 fingers. If I take away one, what's left? Just understanding addition, subtraction, in a number sense is all we call it. It's not like we expect mastery, but we help parents just know some things to look for and do with their kids as they prepare their kids appropriately developmentally and then for school. The Gearing Up program has a snack component to it, and it was a debatable component, but it's a component we chose to keep because there's procedure and routine, there's washing your hands, sitting at the table, passing things to each other, eating your snack together at the table, not getting up until everybody's all done at the same time, and then also putting your cup and your napkin in the garbage. So it's kind of one of those things that gives the children the opportunity to see what would be done in the lunchroom at school, how snack time looks at school, but also those taking turns opportunities, washing your hands, and just being part of a group and listening and following instructions. Oh, manners is a big thing. You know, not spitting, not talking with your mouth full. We really focus on the positive. The kids really take good cues from each other, and that's an important part of snack time too, is we learn from each other and we learn from doing things right. One of the strong components of Gearing Up for Kindergarten is we offer on-site daycare. The Gearing Up program is free to families, but even though it's free, if we didn't have daycare, a lot of families wouldn't be able to come. And so the parents come in with their 4-year-old and they take their either 6-month-old up through 5th grade and they go to daycare. And our daycare providers come in and they bring in a suitcase full of toys, activities for all ages, and then the kids are in there and they're supervised. And then that way mom and dad could spend that important time building relationship and learning skills with their 4-year-old, but we've made it easy for them to come by providing childcare for their other children. It's one of the strong features of the Gearing Up program and one of the reasons parents say they can commit to coming to 16 weeks.
And I'm trying to build this guy too.
We encourage every site to have it. Not every site can afford it. Obviously, because we do pay our daycare providers in Grand Forks, we use UND college students who are majoring in teaching and learning. In Fargo, I know they do the same thing. Some of the other sites are more creative. They use student council members and some parents who have volunteered to do it. It's a strength of the program if you can offer it. One of the things we know, 16 weeks is a long time, and there's a 10-week option for Gearing Up too. In Grand Forks, we funded the 16-week option. But one of the things we know is that it gets long in terms of a commitment. The kids love to come. In fact, there's a family that's not here tonight, and the girls are crying, "Daddy, Daddy, please," but they're sick, so they couldn't come.
What color is it?
One idea to help keep attendance up and keep enthusiasm high is to fill a backpack with school supplies and give it to families with perfect or near perfect attendance at the end of the program.
Trying to find for the letter N.
Thank you for joining us on our tour of Gearing Up for Kindergarten. We appreciate the opportunity to share with you the importance of this program in school readiness for children. Parents have a great understanding of what readiness looks like. They've experienced it through activities and instruction, and then as they go forth, they can take this into their week and help their child with the activities that they know will benefit them, and also develop a closer personal relationship. We are about relationship, we're about school readiness and parent involvement.